Every year, millions of high school students step into the grueling arena of competitive exams like NEET and JEE. The sheer volume of competition is staggering. To prepare, they endure a relentless daily grind. We're talking 12-hour study sessions, chronic sleep deprivation, and the constant underlying hum of digital distractions pulling at their focus. And then comes the actual test day. The clinical reality of security checks and metal detectors sets an intensely stressful atmosphere before they even look at a single question. And here is where a strange paradox occurs. You have brilliant, deeply prepared students who know the material inside and out, but the moment they sit down with the actual paper, their mind completely freezes. All that raw academic intelligence becomes completely inaccessible if the emotional system running it crashes under the pressure. If you look closely at the modern coaching industry, the strategy is built entirely around pure, relentless academics. It is about feeding the intellect. When a student's mock test scores start to slip, the default institutional response is always the same. Give them more study hours, assign more revision, force them through more practice tests. This approach accelerates the breakdown. Stacking heavier academic burdens onto an exhausted student guarantees severe burnout. To carry that heavy load, students require an equally strong foundation on the other side: emotional stability, focused discipline, and raw mental stamina. You cannot solve a psychological bottleneck by throwing more physics problems at it. A completely different tool is required to fix the mind. That tool starts with the one physical action these students perform for hours every single day: the physical act of writing. This brings us to the science of graphology. Rather than grading the neatness of penmanship, graphology studies how the brain's internal functioning translates directly onto paper. This graphic illustrates how specific handwriting strokes map out subconscious behaviors, revealing hidden fear, anxiety, and focus quality. Because these patterns are subconscious, they act as an early warning system, detecting rising panic weeks before failing a mock test. Graphology functions as a preemptive radar. It takes the invisible emotional struggles overloading a teenager and makes them clearly visible to parents and educators. Once those hidden stressors are identified, we can address them through graphotherapy. Since the brain shapes the handwriting, this creates a two-way street. Deliberately changing specific handwriting patterns sends signals back to reprogram the brain. The daily protocol for a student is highly practical. It involves simple, scientifically designed writing exercises that take only 10 to 15 minutes to complete. These exercises are non-invasive and entirely non-medical. It's a structural practice, not rote memorization, so it isn't academic homework. Through consistent, minor adjustments to their writing, students gradually develop sharper attention, deeper patience, and a crucial sense of calmness under pressure. Consistent graphotherapy practice clears the mental clutter of anxiety. This ensures that months of rigorous academic preparation actually translate into performance on the day it matters. Think about what happens in an exam hall when you completely remove the crippling fear of failure from a teenager's mind. A calm mind operates with distinct mechanical advantages. Memory retention sharpens, time management becomes highly precise, and those devastating, panic-induced careless mistakes simply vanish. This chart demonstrates how internal stability translates to paper. Highly volatile, erratic mock test scores gradually smooth out into a consistent upward trending line. This alignment allows the student to access their full cognitive capacity. The psychological barriers separating knowledge from performance have been removed. Consistent learning efficiency requires a stable emotional foundation. When a student's internal psychology is balanced, their academic performance naturally aligns with their effort. This transformation extends far beyond the classroom. For parents, the home dynamic shifts drastically. They no longer have to manage an exhausted, irritable teenager, but instead get to support a disciplined, positive young adult. Institutes that integrate these tools move away from the traditional model of high-pressure academics alone. They begin managing the student's emotional state as a primary factor in their ranking success. By addressing the psychological health of the learner alongside the syllabus, institutions drive higher retention, better success ratios, and ultimately much stronger final test results. Passing a highly competitive exam requires intense, focused work. But when the mind finally finds its balance, performance naturally rises to meet excellence.